Hi there, it's Ruth at Artful Stampin', and today I'm going to be using the Bloomin' Love stamp set to make a One Sheet Wonder Wednesday. So I've already taken some of the small elements of that stamp set and placed it on an acrylic block, and I'm going to be showing you how to cover a whole sheet of cardstock and then cut it up to use for smaller projects. So here I've got some very soft colours. I've got Pool Party, Soft Sky, Crumb Cake and Sahara Sand. We're going for a very kind of subtle looking effect. And we're going to stamp all over this large piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. So this is Whisper White. And the reason I'm doing it on 12 by 12 is because when you want to make those little tiny little 3 by 3 cards, that it fits beautifully to make that. So I'm just going to stamp all over this fairly randomly, but also in a way that I can kind of see the pattern emerging. Don't do what I just did and not stamp the ink your stamp properly. Can you see I just made a mistake there? So I'm trying to get these to kind of fit in together. Okay, so that's what have I just done? A Pool Party. I'm just going to use Soft Sky now to add in some extra pale blue into this. And even though I have I've made a few little mistakes, I'm not going to worry too much because I'm going to be going in afterwards and individually filling out little areas and maybe stamping over flowers, which is fine. I want some overlap because the danger with kind of doing this type of repeat pattern, it can sometimes look a little bit uniform. So I'm stamping and twisting my block around in various points to make sure it doesn't look too uniform. But as I'm planning to cut this up and use it for separate different projects, that's not really a major issue. Okay, so that's a whole sheet with Soft Sky. I'm just coming in here now with some Sahara Sand. And this is a great technique for if you're wanting to make lots of similar cards, particularly if you're doing swaps, if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, or yeah, if you need to do some invitations. I'm thinking of cutting some of these up and doing some little place name settings for weddings. I have a wedding event coming up soon, so I need to show some of the people coming to that how they can create pretty name place settings. So I think I'll be using some of this for that. They'd make great little thank you cards as well. And what is amazing is, and really lovely, is when I do some stamping and use it on a card, people can't believe that I've actually stamped it all myself and created my own custom patterned paper. So that's a great thing about stamping, is that you can create multiples of projects quite easily. So I've got a few little gaps here and there, so I'm just going to fill those in and then go in there with the individual stamps to just fill out any other spaces. Then of course you can use other stamp sets, so something like Gorgeous Grunge or the new Timeless Textures would look great paired with this. But I'm not going to stamp that all over the whole piece, because you can cut this big piece of paper up now and then kind of decide what you want to do with it individually. So pop that one there. Okay. And yes, it's fine to have a little bit of overlap. There we go. Right, now I'm going to grab my small acrylic blocks, because I can see that there are some areas that have got gaps, but they're too small to kind of fill in with my pre-prepared block. So I'm just going to go in there and fill in some of the gaps here. And this helps to break up the kind of uniformity if there was any uniformity kind of appearing. Just going to pop this little one on there now. It's okay to have some overlapping. So this colour is soft suede that we're using, and it's a very, very subtle beige kind of colour. Isn't that pretty? Just going to do a couple more. And also, once you've actually cut up the piece of cardstock for your projects, if you notice any gaps, then you can fill that in yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this as if I was preparing a whole load of little thank you cards. So they need to be 3 inches wide. So I'm going to score at 3 inches and cut at 6. And if you're wondering what this piece of blue tape is for, it's because when I cut cards for a certain size, it's a kind of a bit of an unusual size. So I have this little piece of blue tape so I know exactly where to line my cardstock up. So that's just a helpful tip if you need it. Okay, so these make really cute little thank you cards. And then if you were to do some place name settings, you could still do 3 inches. But this time score at 1.5 and cut at 3. Okay, and then we have 4 little place names. I'm going to leave the rest of the other cardstock because I might use that for making another card. So then to decorate your little cards, I'm going to use some gorgeous new product that I've had received this week, and it's the gorgeous new glitter tape that's available for free, yes, absolutely free, when you spend £45 during Celebration. And Celebration is a special promotion Stampin' Up do between January and February. And I look at that. That would look so pretty with this colour scheme. So I'm just going to put a piece of that on. Okay, not too tricky at all. Just tear it and stick. Tear and stick. And now the lovely thing about this tape, I haven't actually had to go doing this myself yet, so I'm just going to pop this down onto a piece of plastic and do this in front of you, because I have not tried this yet. I've got a sponge here. I'm just going to pick up some of the colour, this is Pool Party, and rub it onto the glitter just to put some of the Pool Party colour on there to change it a little bit. And yes, it's definitely working. So that clear sort of dazzling diamonds effect glitter can be coloured. Okay, I'll show you the contrast. There is a definite difference there. Okay, so I'm going to pop that onto this other card. Right, the next thing to do is just to add a little sentiment. So I'm going to do that with a slightly darker ink. I've got Crumb Cake here. And I've got this little friend sentiment. I'm just going to stamp that. It's okay that it's upside down because we just turn it around the right way in a second. I'm just going to punch that out. Actually, I might punch it. I'm going to punch it off to the side because I'm wondering whether to decorate the other side with a little flower or something. Okay, so if you can hear my kids in the background, that's because it's the half-term holidays here. Managed to get something on there. I don't know what that is. Right, what do I need next? Something to stick with. Some dimensionals and what's that little flower punch? Okay, I can't find the flower punch, so I'm just going to use the little heart punch here. And cut a couple of those out, ready to add to my embellishment. And I've got a little bit of ink left on here. I'm just going to sponge the heart there. Give it a little bit more dimension. It's amazing what a little bit of ink on the edges of a card can do. So I totally recommend it if you've never had a go doing that. Right, I'm just going to cut some of this dimensional to stick onto the sentiment there. Yes, we'll do the two at the same time. Okay, so if you're new to my YouTube channel, hi, welcome. My name's Ruth, I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And if you like what you see, please don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button to be kept updated on all my new videos. If you use Periscope, please search for Artful Stampin'. You can go to my blog and find the link for my Periscope there. And the benefit of hopping onto Periscope is that sometimes I just scope in the evenings doing some card making and get to interact with you guys, and you get to interact with me and ask me questions, and you know, you'll be able to get an answer kind of there and then. So if you've never heard of Periscope before, then please go to the App Store or go to the iStore and download the app, and yeah, log on and have some fun. It's quite good fun. So if you want to also be kept updated of various news that I have, of promotions and things that are coming up, my events, then please go to artfulstampin.co.uk and sign up for one of my newsletters. And also, when you do that, I give you exclusive access to extra YouTube content. So please do that. Okay, I just had to move that piece of glitter paper because it wasn't quite on straight, and then I've realised I've not even put it on straight again, but never mind. Oh. Okay, I'm wondering if there's going to be an issue sticking the dimensional is sticking to the glitter paper, the glitter tape, but it's not as sticky. Yeah, that is not very sticky at all. I think it's having a problem because I put the ink on here earlier. Okay, so we might have to, for the sake of this video, I'm going to ditch it because I've managed to tear my card as well. Okay, let's see how we can cover this up. Pop that on there like that. There we go. Not too shabby. There's a little mark there, so I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my heart punch, and I've discovered that you can actually punch this tape out quite nicely. You kind of go carefully with it. So I'm just going to punch a heart out and pop that in the background there. So just be aware, if you have inked your glitter tape, you need to let it dry and probably give it a little bit more time than I've given it before you are able to actually stick anything onto it. Okay, there we go. See, there are no mistakes, they're just opportunities to create something even more beautiful. Right, so those are the two little cards. Just going to set those to one side. Okay, and then my idea in terms of if you're going to make some place names is that you can use the rotary stamp and then stamp the person's name onto here. So if I just give you a demonstration of that really quickly, because I've just realised we're up to 15 minutes already. Goodness. And I'm just going to see if I can do my name really quickly. This is a rotary stamp, and I love it because it means that you can create all sorts of sentiments to put on your card, custom sentiments or names or words that you want to pop on your card. Like the other day I made a card for a little boy who was turning 8, and I know that he was into pirates, so I stamped the number 8 all over the card, and then with the rotary stamp I put pieces of, so that, and stamped that all over the card, so it said pieces of 8, pieces of 8. Right, so that says Ruth, and I'm just going to get a pen so that I only ink up the specific letters that I want. So I've got my Stampin' marker here, just colouring in that little area there. And the trick with this is to kind of roll it a little bit as you're stamping. So there we go. And I hadn't cleaned my rotary stamp properly, that's why it's gone a little bit messy, but there we go, there's my name on there. So if you wanted to create little cute nameplate settings for a dinner party or weddings, then this is like quite a cute way of doing it. Okay, well thank you for joining me, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.